Harold Parlor. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Harold Bernard Parlor. File number is 21-01641. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lee, appearing on behalf of the people. And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Harold Parlor, who is standing to my right.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Parlor? I'm doing okay. Today's the date that was set for a final pretrial. I do have a nollie here. The necessary witnesses have failed to appear, so the people are unable to meet their burden. So this case will be dismissed without prejudice. So that means that the case is dismissed today. However, if the necessary witnesses later make contact with the prosecution within the statutory time frame, that they can reissue the charge against you. Okay, sir? Do you have any questions? Oh, can you just one out for the record?
None from the people. None for defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you can get your copy of your dismissal, okay? No problem.
No, I don't need one. Thank you.
Do you represent Mr. Bullock?
I do.
Mr. Bullock?
Yes.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacob Michael Bullock, file number 21-01312 SM. Council appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Jacob Bullock, who is appearing by Zoom.
Mr. Bullock, today's the date that was set for sentencing. Excuse me.
Yes.
I have a pre-sentence report and recommendation that was prepared on March 10th, 2022. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Donnelly?
I did, Your Honor.
Are we making any corrections, updates, or deletions to this report?
No, Your Honor.
Make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. We don't have any objections to anything on the recommendation. We're waiting to see if Mr. Bullock could be determined eligible for a 7694A status, and I believe probation has determined he is eligible. So we would request that without any previous convictions, that he be placed on that deferred status and be given the opportunity to get this off his record. He has lived in Lansing he's from Detroit, he's lived in Lansing for 4 years. He moved here to be with his spouse. And I believe, even though she's not here today, so we're not gonna ask for the no contact not to be continued, but it is believed that they are trying to work on their marriage. They will be working on their marriage. So he has his wife in the area. His family's back in Detroit, but they are trying. They don't have any kids yet, but they were trying. Unfortunately, some of their marital problems included not only their finances. They tried to have a business together, but she had a miscarriage at one point. But like I said, they tried to start a landscaping business. Lost it during COVID. He's not working right now. He is looking and applying for Amazon and like warehouse jobs. So he is actively looking. He does have his diploma. He graduated in 2010. He tried to get some secondary education after that, but eventually focused on working. But he does want to go back and learn a trade. Particularly wants to work with a public utility. So it's a good solid job and a good aim for him. He stays active. He likes to play basketball, football. He does have a few health things. He's pre-diabetic. He has acid reflux, and he says that he has an appointment later this morning with a cardiologist because I guess he might have a heart problem. He's trying to figure out more about that, and that should be a cardiologist appointment later this morning. So But again, Your Honor, we don't have any objections to the recommendation. We do believe that he is a good candidate for probation. We'd like to see him get maybe anger management counseling or some sort of counseling, so that it can prevent him from finding himself in this situation again. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, the court's had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report and the recommendation, as well as his prior criminal history. Based on the prior criminal history, I do believe that he is eligible for status under 769.4A, so I will grant that request. Because of that, he's going to be placed on a term of probation. Mr. Bullock, I'm going to put you on 12 months probation. While on probation, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapons of any kind. Not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance. Do you have any questions about that so far?
No, ma'am. Just ready to get this on the road.
Okay, you're going to be required to submit to random preliminary breath tests. You're responsible for the fee associated with that, okay?
Okay.
Not to be at any nightclubs or bars while on probation.
I don't even go out, so I'm
wonderful.
That's cool.
So then this is easy. This is just like going to be regular for you.
It's gonna be regular for me. I'm just ready to knock this out the park.
Exactly. That's the spirit that I'm looking for here. I'm going to order that you obtain and maintain employment. I am going to order that you complete anger management. And batterer's intervention. Do you have any questions about those conditions at this time, sir?
No, one thing, just want to know, like, first, like, with any of the programs, will like my insurance be able to cover everything? Because I do have health insurance, you know, that I don't know if it would cover some of it, but I was just looking into that, wondering if there was any possibility.
The department will be able to help answer that question. They can look at the programming and look at your insurance and see if they can align something that would be covered as it relates to any counseling. But you have to talk to your probation officer, okay?
Okay.
Okay. There is a $30 per month oversight fee that you are responsible for while you're on probation, okay?
Okay.
Now, as to the no contact order, we did receive an email, at least someone from probation received an email. I do not lift no contact orders based on written communication. And so unless she appears before the court in person with identification, the no contact order will continue during probation, okay?
Okay.
As to fines and costs, there's a $75 crime victim rights fee that I need to assess per statute. There's a $50 state minimum cost that also needs to be assessed. Probation at $30 per month will amount to $360. I'm going to waive any other discretionary fines and costs. It's a total of $485. However, you'll be able to make monthly payments on that. Okay, sir?
Okay.
So it's about $41 a month, plus whatever it costs for your PBT and your analysis is what you're going to be looking at to complete probation successfully. Are you needing any answers or clarification as to any of the fines and costs, sir?
No, no questions at all.
Okay, I have here an divisive rights for probation. It says that you have the right to request a hearing for early discharge from probation. Once you have completed half the original term ordered by the judge, you must file a motion for early termination of probation with the court, okay?
Okay,
You cannot request a hearing for early discharge until all rehabilitative requirements have been completed and there have been no probation violations within the preceding 90 days of your request, okay?
okay,
You do have the right to retain or hire an attorney to represent you for the request. If a hearing is needed, you do not have the right to have court-appointed counsel represent you for any hearing to address early termination from probation.
okay,
If you are on probation for domestic violence, stalking, CSC, human traffic violation, or an offense where the defense was asserted of guilty but mentally ill, you would not be eligible for early termination from probation. You are on probation for domestic violence, okay, sir?
yes,
Okay, do you have any questions?
no, ma'am.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bullock, don't let me down. Good luck.
I won't let you down.
All right, thank you. Okay, what else do we have? You're free to go, Mr. Bullock.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Who's this? Who is that?
We have Caleb Tuttle.
Okay, Mr. Tucker. On the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb Tuttle, file number 22-00583. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacy appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Caleb Tuttle, who is standing to my right.
How are you, Mr. Tuttle? I'm doing pretty good. Today was the date, sir, that was set for a final pretrial. So we had the witnesses here.
She is here.
Oh, and was there an offer on this? I think there was.
There was. The offer was for Mr. Tuttle to plead to a malicious destruction of property less than $200, contrary to MCL 750-377A1B, which is a misdemeanor, but this one is punishable by up to 93 days and or a $500 fine. You'd have to pay restitution in the amount of $234.18. In exchange, people would dismiss the original count one, and the no contact order would continue.
It's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this time, Mr. Tuttle would like to accept that offer.
Okay, is that correct, sir? Okay, did he complete an advice of rights? So we have a plea sheet,
I did not have one. I can. Type one out.
clerk's office has been acting like they don't. Pack notes in.
That's fair. I will get it typed up, Your Honor. I made this offer a while ago, so I didn't have one.
I do have a note here in the file. So yes.
But I'll get it typed so that there's no issue.
Mr. Tuttle, the offer from the people was for you to plead guilty to an added count 2 of malicious destruction of property less than $200. As a misdemeanor, maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. And then there's restitution in the amount of $234.18 that they are requesting and seeking for you to pay. That's what you understand your offer to be?
Yes.
And you wish to accept that offer today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm? Need you to raise your other right hand, though. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. So I had you review this document. Is that your signature, sir?
Yes.
Can I put today's date on it?
Yes.
Okay. Did you read those rights listed there?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand each of the rights there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you understand that you have the right to proceed to trial in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that at the time of trial, you have the right to question or cross-examine any witness that the prosecution intended to call. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that you have the right to call your own witnesses or present any evidence you believe would further a defense to the charge. You also understand that you have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the prosecution proves each element of the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay, you wish to waive all those rights today?
Yes.
Okay, is anybody making any threats to you to get you to waive those rights?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything, not stated here on the record, to get you to waive those rights?
No.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No.
Okay, you understand that a guilty plea will result in a criminal conviction that you may need to report to your current job or a future employer. It also could be a conviction that could impact any immigration status that you may be seeking. You understand that?
Mm.
You still want to waive your rights?
No.
You don't want to waive your rights anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure?
Yes.
Okay, are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay, as to the added count 2 of malicious destruction of property, less than $200, how do you plead?
Yes.
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty, or do you
Yeah,
stand mute?
I'm-
Okay, can I have a factual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tuttle, on August 12th of 2021, were you at your home on the 1800 block of Herbert in the city of Lansing, Union County, Michigan?
Yes.
All right. And at that time, was a Teresa or Nelis's vehicle parked at that location?
Yes.
And then, and then while it was at that location, it was, I believe you said it was currently backing up, you did willfully injure the rear windshield of her vehicle. Like you meant to hit the glass, right?
I meant to tap the glass.
You meant to tap, you didn't mean to break it, but you didn't mean to use your hand on, or was that your hand
Yeah.
on the glass?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't dispute that the amount of that damage was above 200, but under 1,000? Your Honor, no further questions.
Okay, any questions from the prosecutor?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's sufficient.
If the court is satisfied with the factual basis, I will accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Just a moment, I'm waiting for the file back. So I decide if I want to proceed to an immediate sentencing. You said the victim is here?
She is here.
just finished probation last year?
Yes.
Referring to probation, you're gonna be sentenced on June 7th, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning, okay? Prior to sentencing, you need to go down to meet with probation so they can provide the court with a pre-sentence report and recommendation as to your sentencing. You need to meet with them within 48 hours of today, but since you're here, it's easy for you to just go down right now and take care of it, okay? They'll give you a questionnaire to complete and they'll set you up for your interview prior to your sentencing, okay? Your sentencing can be held via Zoom if all parties consent.
No objection from the people.
We don't object to appearing by Zoom.
So, you have any questions, sir? Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, so we'll see you on June 7th. I did. Shaquille Rhymes wasn't here.
Yes, she is,
Oh, she
Your
is.
Honor.
Okay. And then Sherrod Nelson did not appear.
Sherrod Nelson is in the hospital. He briefly tried to appear by Zoom. We saw him there, but he said they had to put a neck brace on him. He also has difficulty with the signal in there, but he's basically, yeah, he's at spare. He tried it while he was walking here, got chest pains and a seizure, fell over, passed out, stopped breathing. They got an ambulance, took him to the hospital.
Okay, well, this was set for an emergency bond hearing because the court received multiple reports of a violation. So I'm issuing a bench warrant and with no bond, will be remanded. So that we can have a bond violation here. And what are we doing on this, Ryan?
Ms. Rhymes, Your Honor, I talked to her this morning. We weren't able to get in contact with each other to do the court appointed attorney form yet, so I did get her information this morning. I know that these are scram allegations, so I want to have time to go over them. So again, she needs to get approved. So I was asking for adjournment so we can take care of that.
I can add one in the morning on Tuesday, May 10th, but the afternoon's all full. I prefer not to have these on the mornings. Are we having trials? It's for May 10th, because the rest of Tuesdays you're gone. May 10th, we don't have a trial. We have 3 scheduled. Yeah, we can put it on there. We can do May 17th at 1:30, May 17th at 1:30.
Just wait for your notice to appear.
Okay, any additional matters on this file?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
We'll get your copy, ma'am, of your notice.
Yeah, just wait for your copy of your next.
Ladies, which matter were you waiting for?
There was Sherrod Nelson.
Okay. Miss Lacy, I'm issuing a bench warrant also.
Okay. Your Honor.
Hi, what's your name?
He had to get a neck brace on.
My
What's
name
your
is
name?
Abdallah Makoma, the interpreter.
Oh, you're here for a new single?
Correct.
Okay, we'll see if he shows today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. He did not appear yesterday, but maybe that is court date screwed up.
Hello?
Morning, this is Daryl Johnson.
Speaking.
Hey, John, hey, Daryl, thanks for coming. We're gonna get another date, okay?
Say that again?
We're gonna get another date, okay? Hopefully
Okay.
have some updates soon.
So it's gonna be postponed?
Yep.
All right.
Morning, the person identified as interpreter. You're muted, sir, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Probably from Zero.
Okay, if you can hear me, the defendant didn't appear, so you can leave, Mr. Interpreter.
Oh, I thought that was from a single.
We're there.
I thought the interpreter was from a single.
Yeah, we're missing.
He was there. He was there for a while.
I leave the Zoom or should I wait?
You can leave, sir. The defendant did not appear.
All
You're all
right,
set.
thank you so much.
And then when I was driving home the other day, there was a raccoon hanging from a tree.
He wanted to hear about the raccoon.
Mr. Keithley, we're unmuted, sir.
Thank you.
Tell that story.
Spoiler alert.
She didn't
Tell the
hit
story
it.
again. So it was, I was driving home, it was
Yes.
hanging from a branch.
She is live on YouTube.
And I thought it was going to fall onto my car. It did not, but it scared me because I've never seen that before.
Just hanging up.
Hmm.
Just a raccoon. It's just to me cute. It just the picture of it is just cute. In my
I was
head.
just like, what the? I was so confused.
I don't think I would be really like confused why it was hanging from a tree. Like I don't think I've ever seen a raccoon in a tree.
So I guess that's
May 10th at 10:30?
10
10 a.m. Okay, cool. No problem.
Oh, it's me.
Daryl, can you hear me? May 10th, 10 a.m. Yep. All right, you're good to go.
There's a lot of people.
Oh, shit. That your good?
Okay, who's in the jail?
That's probably, that's Mr. Sheldon.
Do you need to speak to him?
Yes, Your Honor, actually, I would like to go briefly. Talk to you a little bit. Join Zoom.
Alright. You're muted, Mr. Hilliard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you? Which matter are you here for?
I am here on the application to set aside a conviction for Anita Berman.
Okay, very good. Okay, and then I also see Catherine Hill and Stefan. Stefan? Okay, maybe she can't hear me. Miss Stefan, can you hear me? Charlotte, Stefan, can you hear me? Okay, let's see if we can private message her. Douglas Bailey.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Keefe, are you representing Mr. Bailey?
I am. Your
Pardon me?
Honor.
Did you need to speak to him?
No, Your Honor, I'm prepared to proceed.
Okay. This one back. Ms. Stefan, can you hear me?
I can, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. You're here representing Ms. Hill?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Harder rate. Never came, correct? One of the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Douglas Terry Bailey. File number is 22-0327 and 22-00832. Council appearances.
Morning, Your Honor, Andrea Lacey, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Douglas Bailey, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for pre-trials on two matters for dog at large. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, I do not have any information with regards to Mr. Bailey. I don't have the ticket. I don't even have that the CTN was assigned as of yesterday. So I cannot make any offers to Mr. Keithley at this time.
Mr. Keithley?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, the defense would actually be requesting a dismissal of these matters. As Ms. Lacy indicates, the people have no discovery. They have really no information on either of these files. The defense has submitted appearances in both of these matters. In fact, in one of them, the Public Defender's Office has submitted 2 requests for discovery as part of our appearance and demands. We've received nothing. It doesn't appear that the people are prepared to prosecute this matter because, again, they don't have any information on it either. Certainly, a dismissal without prejudice wouldn't cause any prejudice to the people because when they do have that information, they'd be able to refile these matters if and when they're prepared to actually prosecute them. But at this time, it doesn't appear that they are, and I believe a dismissal is warranted.
clarification, I believe these are ticket cases, so my office does not get the discovery sent to us. We have to request it once it's assigned to our office.
I recognize that obviously these are not anything that have any bearing on your performance. You don't control any of these things. I'm taking in one of these matters. It's from January, so it's not clear as to why we're in April. And there still hasn't been any information even provided to you. The other one is from March, it looks like. Okay. I'm going to, he was just arraigned on file number 832. So I don't think it's unreasonable that you haven't received any information on that one. I do have a problem with the fact that this other matter has been pending for so long and you don't have any information on
I don't
it.
have anything.
Yeah, I do have a problem with that. I'm going to dismiss that one without prejudice. I'll set the other one for 1 week out. May 10th. Okay, it'll be May 10th at 10:30 on file number Indian 832.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, sir. We'll see you on May 10th, okay? Mr. Bailey,
Yes,
you're all set. Thank you.
thank you.
On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Catherine Hill, file number 22-00774. Council appearance, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lee, State Attorney on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Charlotte Steffen on behalf of Ms. Hill.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for pre-trial. Was there an offer extended on this?
There was not really an offer extended. It would be that if Ms. Hill were to plead as charged to the count of domestic violence, we'd have no objection to her being sentenced under 7694A.
Okay, Ms. Steffen, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, excuse me, I did discuss that with my client and she does not wish to plead guilty. We did receive some discovery from the prosecutor's office. We received the police report. However, we do not yet have any body worn camera or 911 calls. So there's probably some additional discovery. At this point, I don't anticipate it would change my client's intention and proceeding to trial though, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set it for a final pretrial date. I'll give you time to work through any potential discovery that you may seek, and then we'll also give you a jury trial date today as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Final pretrial will be May 17th at 8 a.m. in person at the court.
May 17th at 8 a.m.
Yes, does that date work for you?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And then the jury trial, we can do June 21st. Does June 21st at 8 a.m. work for you for a jury trial?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
So those will be the dates at this time, both of those in person at the court. Do you have any questions today, Ms. Hill?
No, I do not.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further from the people.
Not from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're all set. on the record in the matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anita Virginia Alanis. And file numbers C105795 SM and J9888927 SM. Council, please.
Morning, Your Honor, Andrea Lacy, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Shane Hilliard on behalf of the defendant, who is present and participating via Zoom with the court's permission.
Thank you. Today was the date set for hearings on applications to set aside convictions of each file. I do have indication in both files that the application is provided or served to both the prosecutor's office and the attorney general's office. Did your office get a copy of it?
Your Honor, yes, I do have a copy of the application.
Okay. Is there any objection to the application?
No, Your
There should be two. Did you get two?
Honor. It's in here is three, but yes, I think there's two different
Okay.
ones, but no objection either.
Okay, we've not received any communication from the Attorney General's office at this time. I would imagine they're probably inundated with requests, and so their responses have been becoming fewer and fewer, so I don't anticipate we'll get one in a timely fashion unless there was reason for them to object. However, Mr. Hilliard, did you or your client want to advise the court as to what your client's been doing since the time of these offenses?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd love to. As the court can see, the convictions are 23 years old and about 4 months away from being 30 years old. In that time frame, my client has put herself through school. She obtained her GED through in 2010, I believe. And from there, she began volunteering. She found a passion in the human services industry, more specifically in the area of elder law, where she began volunteering more and more. She enrolled in a certificate program through Lansing Community College and completed that human services certificate in May of 2012. Through there, she began working in the guardianship and public guardianship and conservatorship arena for a number of years, obtained and then enrolled in LCC and obtained her associate's degree, became a member of, I believe it's Phi Theta Kappa, the Greek letters always get me, where she was the recipient of several honors, both for academics and leadership and volunteering in the community. After having graduated as an all-state academic from Lansing Community College, she enrolled in Siena Heights University, and she graduated magna cum laude from there in a master's degree in human services. A few years ago, she decided that instead of working for others and whatnot, she founded and opened Guardian Assistance of Michigan, which is a professional fiduciary business where she has been appointed by several of the courts in the Tri-County area, Clinton County Probate, Ingham County Probate, Eaton, and I believe some other areas that are not as fully served with the services that Guardian Assistance of Michigan provides. When one of the troubling matters is when over the recent year or so with Governor Whitmer's new policies on public fiduciaries, it's required to have background checks and whatnot. And with these two misdemeanor convictions looming for the better part of the last 8 months, myself and Anita have had to appear in, I think, over 16 different hearings and different cases in Ingham County to show that she, over the course of since these convictions, the person that was convicted 23 and 30 years ago was not the same person that stands before the court today. She's an example of what our criminal justice system, what our judicial system hopes for, aims for in rehabilitating. And in fact, throughout this whole process over the years, she was inspired to make this a career. And she's been highly successful at it. When she was going through her bachelor's degree and stuff, knowing that this was going to be an issue, the statutes that were in place at the time prevented her from having these convictions set aside. Together with the changes in the law, the duration of time that has lapsed, but more importantly, the success that she has shown through her academics, through her leadership, through her business acumen, but more importantly, what she tells me, and if I may breach that confidentiality real quick, she's most proud, Your Honor, that she's into double digits of being clean and sober. These issues are no longer part of her current story. And with that being said, if Your Honor has any specific questions, myself or my client, either of us would be happy to answer. If not, we would ask that the court grant the applications and set both of these convictions aside.
Thank you. I couldn't possibly come up with any questions. I think that this is exceptional. This is, as you indicated, exactly what the hope and goal is of the judicial system, if it works itself appropriately. And Miss Alanis, also known as Berman now, I really hope and encourage that your story encourages others. Maybe someone that would hear what's going on. Maybe someone that's before the court today will hear what's happening, or someone who watched this on Zoom will hear, how you've taken control of your circumstances, and you not only got yourself together, but you're doing phenomenal at this point. And so I couldn't be happier to find you before the court today for this purpose.
I was doing good too until they put me in a fucking drug house.
Hey, yo.
Again, hopefully someone here today would get encouraged by your story, and make the efforts that they need to get the help that they need. But again, you've done a phenomenal job. I am excited to hear about it. Thank you for sharing that, Attorney Hilliard. I do find that her circumstances and her behavior since the date of both convictions are consistent with setting aside the conviction as to them being consistent with the public welfare. So I will grant both applications and sign and date them for today.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you and congratulations. And again, so glad to hear you made my day just hearing.
It wasn't easy, but the longer you go, and the more you put your head into other things that matter, the less that becomes a part of your life,
Agreed. So it's a testimony to a lot of people that it's something that they can redress. And it's substance abuse is an illness, but it could be taken care of once you make decisions to do that. And so you've done that, and I applaud you, and I pray that you will continue upon this path in your future. Okay, ma'am?
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. You will have a good day, okay?
You
Any
too.
additional matters for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, we have somebody in Ingham County Jail 4D as well. Okay, both of them yours. Let's take it, Mr. Sheldon.
Yeah, it's adjourned.
Might have to cut some trace work with that. Mr. Sheldon, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cody Sheldon, file number 21-02525 SM. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Andrew Lacy is hearing on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Cody Sheldon, who is appearing by video from Union County Jail.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for pre-trial. I do recognize there was going to be a request for an adjournment. Is that correct?
Yes, it's my understanding, Your Honor, that he has a felony matter that's pending before you, or no, Judge Ward. And it'll be for a preliminary exam, should be Thursday or Friday. And then Mr. Palmer's intention that he'll file a competency petition. So, my only question would be, Your Honor, would you like that petition also filed in this case, or would you just want to set this for review and watch out for that one?
I can set it for review and watch out for that. I do have a note here from the time of the arraignment that the magistrate had concerns as well, that a CMH evaluation was ordered, and it was screaming and agitated. So I'm not sure if that was done, but at least I see that she did order it. But I will set this out for review, and we'll keep an eye on the felony case that's pending.
Well, and Your Honor, not that it probably doesn't matter, but I think it's in front of Judge Buchanan instead of Judge Ward, actually.
Yeah, how long? He hasn't made the request yet, so I'll probably make it on Thursday.
Probably.
And then it'll need to be at least 45 days for review date. First, June 21st. That'll be more of an internal review anyways. Yeah, we'll do an internal review so that we can see if he got evaluated and a report. It's not likely that it will be done that quickly, but then we can reset it rather than trying to rid him here for that purpose. But we'll have an internal review for that. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing for the people.
No for defense, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sheldon. You're all set.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Talk to Kirkendall.
Okay, we'll put you in part of
The offer, the old offer was to plead guilty in this case, and it was dismissed the 55th matter. Is that still, that was with. But I still see that case is active, and he doesn't have a new file.
Okay, Mr. Kuykendall, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, your attorney's gonna come meet with you in just a moment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I can still do the offer.
Okay. Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Justin Hartrank.
You said Justin what?
Hartgerink, Hartgerink.
Interesting. Who named him that? Okay, Mr. Keithley, did you need to speak to him?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kyle Kuykendall, file number 20-03040. Council appearance, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacey appearing on behalf of the people.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Kyle Kirkendall, who is appearing by video from Ingham County Jail.
Thank you. And today was the date that was set for a retrial. How are we proceeding on this matter?
Your Honor, at this time, there was, this case is old, so I've had a couple of offers. The last offer from, Prosecutor Housefield was he can plead guilty in this case to the animal, cruelty charge. And he has a charge of malicious destruction of property between $200,000 and $1,000 out in Mason that they would dismiss. And they also would like the restitution in that matter, which I believe, let's see. Restitution was $257.48.
In this matter?
No, on the MDOP. So Mason, there's a case that the prosecutors will dismiss if he agrees to plead guilty in this case, and restitution for that case.
I can tell you right now, that's gonna throw the clerks over the banister because it is a nightmare.
Yeah.
To track payment of restitution on a matter that's not associated with it and not even in the same court jurisdiction. So you want us to collect restitution for something that happened in Mason?
I understand that, Your Honor. That
Yeah, so
He's
that,
gonna pay it at the time of his sentencing.
He, at this time, no, he will not be able to have that, those funds.
Do you
At
know
this
when
time.
he'll be able to pay it?
Mr. Kirkendall, do you know when you would be able to, pay back the restitution of $257.48?
Yeah, whenever Direct Express will stop trying to tell me that I'm frauding my own money.
I have no.
My card is locked. I have the money, but I just can't touch it.
Oh, he doesn't have access to his card, is that what he said?
Yeah. Well, I
Yes.
believe these are the only things keeping him in jail, so, he would be released once these matters are resolved.
So the offers from the plea to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
yeah.
What's the restitution again?
$257.48.
Okay, and Mr. Kuykendall, you want to accept that offer and plead guilty to the charge of animal cruelty abandonment with the agreement to pay $257.48 in restitution?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. Mr. Kuykendall, you have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used to prove your guilt. You have the right to be presumed innocent until each element of the charge against you is proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's the burden of the prosecution. You have the right to question or cross-examine any of the witnesses the prosecution calls, and then you have the right to call your own witness or present any evidence you believe would further a defense to the charge. In order to plead guilty, you would have to give up all of those rights, sir. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive those rights today?
No, ma'am.
Is anybody threatening you at all to get you to waive those rights and plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty to the charge because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, ma'am.
I understand that a guilty plea can result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current job or to your future job.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You also understand that a guilty plea can result in a criminal conviction that may impact any immigration status that you may be seeking.
Yes, ma'am.
You still want to waive your rights and plead guilty, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As to the count or the charge of animals abandoning cruelty to one animal, which is a misdemeanor punishable with a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail, $1,000, and up to $200 in 200 hours in community service. How do you plead?
Guilty.
It's on a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Kirkendall, on October 11th of 2020, were you in the area of the Potter Park Zoo at or near 1315 South Pennsylvania in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes, I was.
And at that time, did you cause an animal to be cruelly beaten?
Yes.
All right, and was it your dog that you hit?
No, it was a friend's dog.
All right, and did that dog run off?
Yes.
Was it ever located?
Yes.
Okay, and you don't own the dog?
No.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Thank you. Any additional questions from the prosecution?
No.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. How long has it been in custody?
Was that to me?
Rearrested on this on April 7th. So 13 days.
Plus whatever you constantly had
Whatever he
before.
did before, because I know that he's been in custody before. He was held at least at 7
Yeah.
days the last time.
I think there was a no PR 14 days before.
Okay.
Okay. He can make allocution or any objection to immediate sentencing on this.
No objection, Your Honor.
None from the people.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Kirkendall, he struggles with home stable housing, but he does he is I believe that he is trying to well, I do believe that I commend him for taking care of these issues and owning up and being accountable for this, so he can take care of this today. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter sentence of credit time served. There is a $75 crime victim rights fee plus a $50 state minimum cost that will be assessed. And then restitution in the amount of $257.48. Ms. Lacy, we get your restitution.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about your sentence, Mr. Kuykendall?
No, the only question I have is, where do I go to pay the restitution?
You can come right here to the court.
That
54
is
Amish
fair?
Court. We're downtown Lansing on the 6th floor.
Okay.
Okay, you'll go to the criminal traffic counter, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Kuykendall. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Are we ready, Mr. Hardring?
Yes.
Actually, Your Honor, I need to go back into the breakout room with him for a moment.
Okay. You're already in the room, so you can just return to the breakout room.
I'm guessing I hit join breakout.
Yeah, you were already in the room. Do you see where breakout room is?
Yep.
Okay, you can go back in there. Okay, and we're ready now on Mr. Hardring.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, I don't have the file, that's why.
Oh, he might have taken this.
Yeah, because he thought there was a warrant.
this afternoon for the probation violations.
Thank you. Thanks. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dustin Hartgerink, file number 22-00411 SM. Council appearance.
Morning, Your Honor, Andrea Lacy appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Dustin Hartgerink, who is present via Zoom.
Thank you. What was the date, sir, that was set for pre-trial? How are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hartgerink and I met, there was an offer extended to him to plead guilty as charged in this matter with no objection to sentencing under MCL 771.1 with a stipulated 12-month deferral period and an agreement to pay restitution. At this time, Mr. Hartgerink wants to accept that offer. I'm currently completing the plea sheet and I'm going to submit it in just a moment.
Okay. And Mr. Hartgerink, that's what you would call your offer to be?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What your attorney just stated, is that what you would call your offer to be, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so you're willing to, or you want to plead guilty to the count of dog at large? There is a sentencing agreement about a deferred sentencing and that you'd pay restitution?
Correct.
Okay, you want to accept that again, sir?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Mr. Hartgerink, you have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to be presumed innocent until each element is proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used to prove your guilt. You have the right to cross-examine or question any of the witnesses the prosecution intends to call. Then you have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence you believe would further a defense to the charge. In order to plead guilty, you would have to give up each and every one of those rights today. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to waive those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you being promised anything to get you to waive those rights today?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threatening you to get you to want to waive those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty to the charge because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
As to the charge of dog at large, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
I have a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hartgerink, you own a dog, right?
Yes.
And apologize, Your Honor. I had his report. Here it is. On or about February 7th of this year, were you and your dog in the city of Lansing?
Yes.
And that's within the Ingham County and in the state of Michigan, right?
Yes.
And your dog got out, right?
Correct.
And actually left your property, right?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Questions from you, Ms. Lacy?
No, Your Honor.
If the court is satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. I find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. There was a request or agreement for sentencing or deferred sentencing under 771.1. We will defer this or delay the sentencing. We'll get you a date at this time, okay?
All right.
You said he's supposed to pay restitution?
That's correct.
What's the amount?
I don't have the amount yet, Your Honor.
Okay, so do we need to set it for sentencing or a restitution hearing, then get that amount? Because I don't want to give him a date far out, he doesn't show up and then he doesn't know what to pay.
I just contacted the victim yesterday to find out. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I would get it over to Mr. Keithley as soon as possible.
Mr. Keithley?
Your Honor, could we just set it for, I guess, a review date in a month? Certainly, as Ms. Lacy indicates, we're still looking for that restitution amount. If we need to have a restitution hearing after I receive the documentation on restitution, we could set that. But just having a sometime in about a month in order to be able to look at setting that, that would be my preference.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you a review date and then are we able to go a year out on our calendar now? No, it's giving us problems. Well, the review date will be May 24th at 9:30. Review date's gonna be May 24th at 9:30.
Okay.
The first week ago. If I may have to, I mean, there's a little bit that we should be allowed to go out 12 months for the case. They won't let us go into next year at all. Yeah, we got something. Okay. I'll set the sentencing date on the review date because the calendar is not letting us go out into next year right now. So I need to figure out what's going on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
On your honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, sir. We'll see you on May 24th.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And then logo Nauvoo, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, did not appear. So I'll issue a bench warrant. Ma'am, are you Michaela Mezzo? Okay. We're on the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Michaela Mezzo, file number 22-00523SM. Council appearance, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Andrea Lacey appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Ms. Meza, who is currently present in the courtroom.
Today was the date that was set for pre-trial. I can't recall if there was an offer that was extended last week. I do vaguely remember. Oh, there's a plea sheet here. So there was for the defendant to plead no contest to an added count 2 of malicious destruction of a building less than 200 and pay restitution in the amount of $582, and that the people would dismiss the original charge. Mr. Keithley, is your understanding that your client wishes to accept that offer?
That is my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Mezzo, did you want to accept that offer today? Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Represented by Mr. Keithley from the Office of the Public Defender. Ma'am, you have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. At the time of trial, you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used to implicate or prove your guilt. You have the right to cross-examine, which means question any of the witnesses that the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present any evidence you believe would further a defense to this charge. In order to plead guilty, ma'am, to this added count 2 of malicious destruction of building less than 200, you have to give up each of those rights today. You understand that? Is that a yes? Yes. Okay, you want to waive those rights? Anybody threatening you to get you to waive those rights? No. Has anybody promised you anything to get you to waive those rights? No. Okay. Are you pleading guilty to the added count because you believe you are guilty?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess you or you believe? You think you did something that warranted the malicious destruction of a building?
I'm not really sure, but I know I had gotten into an argument
Okay.
and smacked the window,
Okay.
so I guess that.
Okay, can you not recall what happened?
No.
Okay. Okay. You understand that a no contest plea on this matter could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer or put on a future job application? Yes. Okay, you still want to waive your rights today? Let's see, do I have to waive your rights? I decline the basis of a no contest plea to be appropriate due to her lack of memory. I have a police report here, January 10th, 2022 at 10:30 p.m. The area of 601 North Lark, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. Officers were dispatched to outreach in regards to a troubled subject. Dispatch advised that the subject spit on employees and smashed a window. The accused was identified as Michaela Mezzo. It says Mezzo started screaming. She stated something about babies dying. Witness Irvin stated, "You need to stop screaming and being loud because it's quiet hours." Mezzo started to grab her belongings and still screaming at him and witness Ramos. Accused Mezzo walks out the door, dropping her hat, and it gets wedged in the door. Witness Ramos picks it up and closes the door. Accused Mezzo punches the glass and walks off. Officers did note here damage to the property, the glass at the front door. Any additional factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
We've also attached a receipt for the glass, the amount of $582. Mr. Keith, are you satisfied with the factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mezzo. I find your no contest plea to be appropriate. I'll accept your plea if I'm to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Okay. Has she been in custody since arraignment on this?
Your Honor, I believe she's been in custody since February 15th. Either February or 15th.
Any objection to immediate sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you can make allocation.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I indicated previously, I believe she's been in custody since February 15th of this year, or at least since that time. We would be asking for a sentence of time served in this matter. Thank you, Your Honor.
Grant the request for sentencing that's to credit time served. There'll also be restitution order in the amount of $582 payable to .601 Larch. What is that location?
Outreach Church.
Payable to Outreach Church. We'll get a restitution form completed. Do you have any questions today, ma'am, about the restitution or your? Gotta know. She has to pick it up on the record, whatever you say.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay, no problem, no problem. I just want to say that you look much better than the last 2 times you've been here.
Yeah, we were having problems with dietary.
Okay, so you look better. You've been pretty calm and relaxed, which is good. Whatever you're doing, to keep doing it, okay? We'll order, you're not working, are you?
No, not at the moment, no.
I'll refer you to collections on the restitution so you can make a payment plan with them, okay?
All right.
You have a phone number at all?
I have a prepaid phone,
Okay,
so I would have to pay my bill.
okay, sounds good. You need to contact collections within 48 hours of your release so that they can get your phone number, okay?
All right,
And whatever address is to where you're gonna be staying.
all right.
Is the address on North Grand River still good for you? Okay. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.